Yo, what is up? Tuna here. Today's video, I wanted to show you guys the PoExchange, everything that there is to know about it, and basically all of the new features that have come since last league, and all of the features that are going to be coming in the future. So, I'm really passionate about this tool. A friend of mine has been developing, his name is Centrex. He's the sole developer of this tool, although it is hosted on Maxroll. So Maxroll is covering the hosting costs and helping him get this tool up and running. But it is completely independently owned by Centrex, and he has been developing on his own. And he's really passionate and also just very talented as well. I wanted to show off some of the features, as I think this is the tool that is, it's basically, in my opinion, the only way that we would be able to actually get away from having to use Discord servers for our trading and that kind of stuff, and just being able to sort of integrate and make our trading life a lot easier overall. So yeah, first of all, this is the home page. This is what you'll land on. The website is called poexchange.maxroll.gg. So you'll go in there, and this is the home page that you land on, and it has some little navigation buttons here that you can click. So bulk listings, my bulk listings, service listings, as well as my service listings. So basically, these are the features that are offered as of right now. Although in the future, there will also be a way for you to track your currency gains as well as losses through an integrated type of tool that will allow you to track your current wealth and that sort of stuff. However, let's just talk about what we have right now. So first of all, the most important thing that you will want to look at as a buyer is you'll want to go to bulk listings. And bulk listings displays all of the listings of what people are posting as of right now. And this is as of right now, kind of, you can see that there's a lot of different things being listed: scarabs, essences, incubators, and that kind of stuff. You want to be able to narrow this down, and that's what this here selected category is for. So imagine if I wanted to buy scarabs, you would have to actually go for fragments first, and then a subcategory of anything you like. So there's like breach, elder sets, and that kind of stuff. So then you would go for scarabs, and then you can actually have additional filters and say, like, I only want posts that have ambush scarab of containment in them with a minimum of 3. You can see that there isn't many because, yeah, people are basically, they're very rare, this scarab. But you can see that there is this bulk post here. And now that I found the bulk post that I want, I can open it up and I can look at exactly what he has. Now, if I wanted to again look for scarab of containment, you search that and you can see that he has 2 of them available. However, even cooler is there is a new implemented feature called the stash view. And like this, I'll be able to look at his entire stash tab as it is for him in game. So that is honestly awesome, and you can search for anything that you like as well. So this is just a quick way for you to like kind of notice as a buyer. Maybe you might want to see, is he keeping a certain type of scarab, or is he selling a certain type of scarab, and all that kind of stuff. And you can do this with literally any posting. So this same example applies to anything here on PoExchange. And additionally, you can see that one guy just posted another one. If I had active tab notifications ticked, what would happen is that I would get both a sound notification and a little icon here at the top left of my tab telling me that somebody has just gone and listed one of his tabs with the scarab of containment. And this here filter works exactly the same way as it works on Path of Exile trade. So you have and, not, and count. So you can also specify that, you can add a group and you're like, I do not want cartography scarabs, right? If you do not want cartography scarabs, you can do that, and then it will, have the trades that have that scarab will not show up. So you can do some pretty advanced filters here as a buyer, and you will be able to, discern essentially what people have and filter it that way. But let's go back to the home page, and you can also do that through here. If by hovering over here, you can go to my bulk listings. So this, as a seller, is your home page, the most important part of the tool, because here is where you will be able to load up your stash tabs, and then once you've loaded up your stash tabs, how you will be able to sell. Let's start with scarabs, because it's one of the things that people sell the most. So if I select my scarab tab like that, and now it's going to load up everything that I have, which I might not have that much of right now because I might have sold them. Now we have a few, right, just for the example. And yeah, so we can actually select every scarab that we want or deselect, and it will remember the scarabs that you have deselected. So in my situation, I have the cartography scarabs, which I'm actually using for my strategy. So I've deselected them, meaning that anytime I reselect the fragment tab, it's going to have those deselected by default so that I don't accidentally list them. And as soon as you have that, then you know you want to be like loading your tab. It's going to load your tab and you have a total here. You can specify whether you want to sell bulk only or whether you want to sell you can sell things individually, and what individually means is that people will be able to pick out items from your stash tab. And once you do that though, you might want to say like, I don't want to sell individually for prices below like 1 div, you know, don't bother me unless you want to spend at least 1 div. And that's how you do it here. You press 1 and then you select this div icon by just clicking on the button there. However, most people will probably bulk sell only, but this is actually a cool function because this will allow people to sell things individually at a minimum set price, so long as they have their thing listed. So this is not only a bulk selling tool, it can also be used as a tool for people to buy things individually off of other players. So long as there's enough people listing things, you will just be able to, you know, sell as well as buy individually, just like you can on the trade website, just at a much more sort of user-friendly way, because you can just price your entire tab in one click and it's, you know, off you go, you sell your stuff. So that's how you do fragments, and that would be like how you do basically everything else. But once you have posted your posting, it was gonna go here on the side panel under my listings. So if you can actually, if I load up my fragment tab again with my scarabs and that kind of stuff, if I load up the scarabs here, now post listing, what happens is that now that goes to an active listing. And once you have sold them, it will take that out of here and it will go back here. So that means that it remembers your selection as well as your preferences and all that kind of stuff. And anytime you want to relist your scarabs, say you've like amassed a bunch of scarabs again, you would just go back to this tab here, load that one back up, and then post again, and that will then go back to your active listings. And it will, what it will look like when somebody wants to buy it off you is you'll go to bulk listings, and then you can see that my listings are here. So I will search here. You can look through the tabs again if you like, you know, just to double check what the seller has and that kind of stuff. And you're like, all right, I want to buy everything. So you copy Whisper, and what happens is I will be getting a Whisper here at the top right, and it will tell me exactly like who wants to buy it, how much, so that they will then copy that Whisper over and send it over to you. So in my case, like that is already inside of my my clipboard in game. You can't really see it, but it says add my name, want to buy all scarabs for X amount, and yeah, basically just post it in there, and I can double check the price of that right here. Now, the bigger feature that I wanted to showcase is actually the 8-mod maps, because 8-mod maps have been like a lot of work to implement, and have also been just a huge reason why this tool is better than everything else out there. So we can go back to my bulk listings. Once you're in bulk listings, what you want to do is you want to select your maps. So here, this is my map tab. However, I put them in a separate tab just because it's a lot better for the purpose of 8-mods, and since I have so many of them. So I'll put them here in my quad map tab, and it will show me all of the maps that I have available. And you can go back to stash view as well to kind of see all of your 8-mod maps. So you can see that these are all my 8-mod maps that I've put in this tab. So we'll go back here. And what I want to do is I only want to be selling my jungle valleys. So my jungle valleys are the maps that I want to be selling, and I want to be selling the 8-mods. So I will only select jungle valley, 8-mods, and you can see that I have 241 of them here. And then what you want to do to sell your 8-mods is you want to be able to sell them individually. That is because 8-mods in general, people want to be buying them with a regex. And a regex is way for people to filter modifiers that they want to run as well as modifiers that they don't want to run, in addition to, you know, potentially giving also like a minimum quantity and that kind of stuff. So to do that, you will here go at the bottom left of this column, and you will deselect sell bulk only, and then minimum trade. I mean, you can put like 200 gales if you want to do here. Allow rejects, and then extra price for rejects would be like around 3 gales, right? And then the override, since we do want to be selling 8-mods for a specific price, I would go here and override and put that at something like 9 chaos, because I want to make sure that I'm selling my 8-mods at a higher price than you would be selling your non-8-mods. So now that I've set that up, that means that my base price is 9 chaos, and my price for rejects is going to be 12 chaos. And as soon as I've set that up, that is basically already good to go. I can sell these at, post listings just like that. However, you can do additional groups here to basically like filter your 8 mods even further. You can set your base price for 8 mods at 9 chaos and all of that good stuff there. So yeah, you can do additional grouping, custom groups for increased quantity. Like imagine if I wanted to see like like any map above 100 quantity, then you can split that way, but you can also do any map above 120 quantity too, and then we'll create additional groups and split them all accordingly. So that's very useful for you if you, for example, wanted to keep maps that are 120 quantity plus for yourself, but sell the ones that are below or something like that. You can do that through this custom mod group and ensure that you're not listing the maps that are above 100 quantity or whatever quantity that you'd like. So yeah, that's your 8 mod maps, and of course make sure that you select the 8 mod maps here at the top as well. Forgot to mention that. So that's like as soon as you've selected the 8 mod maps, that's when the price override is going to be automatically set from this custom here, because you can see I set base price for 8 mod maps 9 chaos, and if you go to the general map one, it's not going to overwrite there, but if you go into the 8 mod here, it's going to override instantly to 9 chaos there. So yeah, make sure that you select 8 mod maps. As soon as you've done that, that is the same settings, and what you would do then is you would post your listing, and that's it. That's all my mods posted now. And if we go to bulk listings, now this is where it gets really cool. So you can see that here is my listing right here. Individual items are listed. A buyer can now actually look through my tab very efficiently. So you can look through my tab and see all of the 8 mods that I have available, and how much the extra price for the rejects is, how much the price is for the base. But the really cool thing is that they can then go to poe.re, which is the regex website, and they could say like, oh, they select all their modifiers that they don't want to run and all of that kind of stuff. They copy this regex and they put it right here, and it will instantly highlight all of the maps that I have available with that regex, which is honestly, it's insane. But additionally, what they would do here is then they would say like, there's a total of 90 maps available with that regex, but I only want about 30 of them, right? So then you would reset here, asking quantity for 30 with the regex, and you can go to the stash tab view to double check that everything is good there. And cool. So you just press enter, copy regex whisper, and then what happens is me as a buyer, I would have to then whisper in game. So I would send it over, and that would then notify me, the seller, that somebody is trying to buy my maps. So as soon as somebody whispers me in game that they're trying to buy my maps, what I would do is I would go up here, I would check my notifications, and it tells me that he wants to buy 38 mon maps with this regex. So what I can do is I can instantly just copy this. What happens is that as soon as I click this, it's going to copy it to my clipboard. Once that is copied to my clipboard, I can go directly in the game, go to my tab, and paste that here. And I can see that all of the maps are highlighted. But since he only wanted 20 of them, the thing that this tool is able to also do is that I'm able to click this little stash tab icon, and it's going to be telling me which maps I want to be selecting and which maps I don't want to be selecting, in case I wanted to use this extra function. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just basically select any random maps. But in a situation where you might not want to actually like zone out of your hideout and zone back in to refresh your listing, you can actually do this to where you just click this button up here. And what it says is select all of these maps that are shown right here, so that I will go back in game and I will just select all of these maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. You can see that's basically all the ones selected, but he actually wanted 30, so 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, perfect. So I have now selected 30 maps that the seller wants to buy. And as soon as I've done that, then what you can do is you can say update my listing. And as soon as you click update my listing, what happens is that this prompt comes up. And when this prompt comes up, what it does is it relists your listing without you having to rezone and update your listing. So what I would do is then I would click update my listing, and that goes back up here. And you can see that now is my listing updated minus the maps that the seller just bought. So that basically just streamlines 8 mod mapping, selling as well as buying and all that kind of stuff. And it makes this process just so much less tedious, because the previous ways to do this would be you would go on Discord, you would post your sum, You would tell people to DM you, and then they would DM you, and then you would, you know, filter out their maps, tell them how many you have, and then they would say, okay, I want to buy this many, and then they would come to your hideout. You know, you would invite them in game, they get their RNG, you would trade the stuff, and then so on and so forth. But this basically can be done in just, you know, if you learn how to use this tool and the buyers and the sellers understand how this functions, you'll just be able to do this pretty much instantly, and it'll be super easy. So yeah, let's say that like I want to get rid of my listings. I will go back to my bulk listings, which was that button there at the top, and I want to go offline. So I just move these to inactive, and that's it. My listings are automatically updated. They're all gone. You can see it's all in real time. So all the listings are gone in real time. But if I wanted to come back online at any point, then I would just go back to this button here, my inactive listings. I would reselect this tab, and this would redo my selection again, or I would reselect this tab and it would do my selection again there. I would load it up again to make sure that everything is up to date, and I would just post listing here at the bottom again. So boom, and then that is now moved to active, as you can see. And as I said before, that is all in real time, and it's just posted right there. So that is how that works. And yeah, what I wanted to show next is my services. So you can actually sell services on PoExchange as of this league. And the services are a new tool that we wanted to introduce, so people could completely get away from having to use Discords and that kind of stuff. So there are a few services that people provide. As of right now, it is not like very populated. That's why I'm trying to show it off, and you know, hopefully get some people to actually do their posts and listings and that kind of stuff. So service listings, there are a few here. There's going to be ones that are, you know, for Voidstone, so Searing Exarch, as well as Eater Worlds. You have the Maven, Uber Elder, and you can see that there's a couple of people, and there's a vouching system where you can actually click here to vouch for them, and it'll give them a little star. And you can actually only vouch for a person one time per user, meaning that you can't like kind of abuse this and just spam vouch one singular person so he gets up there. And yeah, you can see that people have listed a couple of things, and all you would do really is you would copy that, and much like the listings, they would receive notifications. But I can actually show that off by just making a service myself. So how you do that is you would select my service listings, which you can also access through here. You click my service listings there, and then you can select services. You can say that I want to offer a T17 carry. And so I want to offer T17 carry as well as a Searing Exarch carry. And let's say that I want to offer that for 50 chaos. But I want to make sure that people are, you know, don't join the map until I say so. Don't attack the boss. Do not move. Do not attack, like all of that stuff. But there's an easier way to do this where it's like right here at the top. And you can select global rules to make sure that, you know, this is going to be selecting the rules for every single listing here. So you don't have to actually go through and do that for every single one, but you can select it as a global thing. And you can see boss killing, and there's going to be others, and there's like some others like, you know, Legion 5 ways, campaign boost, benchcraft, as well as laboratory and that sort of stuff. So there's all kinds of services here that you can provide, but the more important ones that people care about are going to be the map, you know, map slots, as well as void stones and favorites and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if I want to be listing like a T17 service, I will do T17 and then post my listing. So you can see here that the listing is now listed there, and you can just copy the whisper and send that over in game. So you would just go here and you would just be like, yo, I want to buy, you know, your T17 service, and then I just get that in game there. And that's cool, and then you just invite them that way, and everything's good. But there are additional ways to list your services. So you can have buyer's map as well. So in a situation where, for example, I have set up something like the feared, because the feared gives you a favorite slot and a passive point, but only if you complete it on your device. So if I have a feared and I want to be able to sort of get a carry for that, and then you would look through you know, buyer's map essentially. And if you could do here, like if you're someone who carries people, you can select buyer's map as well as seller's map. And for buyer's map, then you imagine like you're selecting the feared, and you can say like, you know, for 30 chaos, and it's the same sort of stuff. But additionally, there's another function here that you could select your region. So imagine that I cannot do I can't play on Japan server. It's too laggy for me. So I would say that like I'm okay with playing on like EU, US, Russia, and that's pretty much it. Those are the servers that I'm okay with playing on, and that's what you would select as a carry. And then you post your service there, and you can see that then is that gonna post there. But then you go to buyer's map and you can see that the field is posted. But as a buyer, also you want to be selecting your region as well. So the way that you find that is you go back to service listings and then you go to invitation to field here, and then you would specify that you want it to be your map. So like for example, right here, you click it, sorry, you want it to be your map. So it's seller's map and buyer's map by deselecting that. And you can see that as soon as you deselect that, I will show up there. But then you also have to specify that you are from a specific region, you know, because it is your map. So imagine if I was from Singapore, then my listing would disappear. But if I was from EU, then it would show up. So that is the basics of how people post their services and their bulk listings and all that kind of stuff, and how PoExchange works. Now there's a lot more coming in the future that like honestly Centrex is amazing, and he's going to be working really hard to get the tool up and running. But right now what PoExchange really needs is it needs more users. These tools, they live and die by their users. You can see that there's actually a ton of listings here. There's a lot of people listing. There's really a lot of listings. There's like 2 pages of full 100 listings. So that means that there's like 120 listings right here for people to buy. And we just really need more people to list and more people to buy. Because, you know, if people buy, then people will list. And if people list, people will buy. And it's just like a cycle of, you know, trading and happiness and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I really, really think you guys should try this if you want to, you know, streamline your PoE trading experience. I know that new trade thing in game has come this league, but as of right now, you know, this is still probably the best way to sell all your stuff after a big mapping session. So I think you guys should test it out, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial / rundown of how it works. And yeah, give it a go, guys. Like, I have no investment in this whatsoever aside for emotional investment. I want this to succeed, and I want Centrex to succeed. He's great guy and a great developer. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hope this video was helpful. I hope to see you guys again.